Did you know that somebody can legally take your land in Ghana without paying a dime? Yes, somebody can take your land in Ghana without paying you anything at all. And the funny thing about that is it is completely legal. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to avoid this from ever happening to you. So how can one legally own a land that does not belong to them? And the answer is quite simple. This is not unique to Ghana. It's all over the world. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you why the law exists and why it makes sense actually, right? If you're the owner of the land and this happens to you, you're not going to be too happy about it, but it actually makes sense, right? So I'm going to explain why they came up with this law and what it serves. And then I'm going to let you know how to avoid it in Ghana. Somebody can legally live on your land for a certain period of time. And after that period, they can choose to claim that land and you might never get it back. And this law is known as adverse possession. And it is not unique to Ghana, as I mentioned earlier. It is worldwide. And the reason behind this is, let's say you buy land and then you die, or you have a house, you abandon it, you dead, none of your family members are taking it up, the house been there for all these years, and then I come and live in the house for a long period of time. In most places, it is about 10 years. 10 to 12 years is what, depending on what country. In London, it's 10 or 12 years, depending on the state. And then in America, it's about the same, right? In New York, it's 10 years. That's what I learned from. In Ghana, it is 10 years. So if a squatter come on a property on their own, they live there for 10 good years, and they can prove that they've been living there for 10 good years. My friend, you just lost your land. The only way to actually get the land back is to pay that squatter a lot of money in court. You can take them to court, do whatever. By law, they are protected by the adverse possession. And the reason behind the adverse possession, as I mentioned earlier, is because you abandon the place. You know, people are living close to the place. Let's say the place is bushy. There are snakes bothering neighbors, and nobody's coming there. So the law is incentivizing people, squatters in this case, to acquire these properties. And if the owner wants them out, they will be there. This video is brought to you by Arcadian Limited. Arcadian Limited is a company that I co-founded in Ghana. If you want your solar systems installed, if you want to buy land, if you want to design your house, if you need somebody to build for you, or you're already building and you want somebody to take over the building, we also provide a service of customized furniture. So if you want anything wood, you see the bookshelf behind me, all of that, we got you. It's customized. Whatever you want, you just gotta let us know what you want. We'll design it for you. If you have an example, we will do it for you. Look no further by Arcadian Limited. The link is in the description below. Reach out to us and we can talk. How can you avoid this from ever happening to you? The answer is quite simple. You need to put somebody there. Once you have your land, a house, whatever, you need to put somebody there. You need to let that person pay rent. Don't just put that person there and forget about it. Put that person there if you know you're not going to develop the place to where you want it to be, right? Because once you develop it, of course, you have the paperwork and everything, you are good to go. But if you're putting that person there, right, even if it's an uncompleted building, this is what people do now. Because in Ghana, you think you're doing somebody a favor, you let that person live there for 10 years, and next thing you know, you're having problems kicking them out. And it happens more than you think. Some of them are, not as complicated. They will ask you for money, huge sums of money before they will move. Or if they know what they are doing, you are in for a battle. You have to take them to court and all that. And the court is going to let you pay them a lot of money, or they're going to keep the place, including the house. So what most people do is when you have a property, whether it's a house or just bare land, if you drive around Ghana, you see a lot of buildings where they have the walls around it. And then there's like a small structure. Sometimes it's wooden, sometimes it's brick and mortar, but it's a small structure, and there's a caretaker on the land. This is the reason behind it. And these caretakers, you might be letting them live there for free, but you have to let them pay at least one cedi every year, right? They have to pay you something that shows that you gave them a contract, they are paying you to stay there, or you are paying them to stay there. So they can pay you to stay there, or you are paying them to stay there. But there must be something that shows that there is a transaction going on. Like, this person is there for a purpose. They are there because they are renting from you as a tenant for $1 a year. You will win in court. Or that person is a caretaker and you are paying that person to stay there. Then you will win. But to allow somebody to stay there unattended to for all these years, once that person hit 10 years, if that person is stubborn, you've got a real problem, especially if they know what they're doing. Trust me, some people know exactly what they're doing, and they will stay there and accumulate all this evidence over the years. And 10 years, you come to your land and it's no longer yours, and there is absolutely nothing you can do. The only Alternative is to pay them huge sums of money, and they might leave it up to you if they don't want the land. So now that you are aware it's legal, it makes sense from logical perspective, because sometimes somebody buys land, they die, they didn't tell anybody, and it's just there. And if the law is not protecting the squatters who go on there and take care of the land for all these years, nobody's gonna go and touch it. It will mess up the community at large, and no government wants that. And that's why this law exists. So if you are the person, if you are the victim, you're not gonna like it, but it makes sense. Don't hate the rules, understand it, and then use it to your advantage. That's just how the world works, whether you like it or not. So there you have it. Do not lose your land, and take the necessary precautions and the steps to avoid that from ever happening to you. If you've not subscribed to the channel already, you know what to do. Like this video as it helps with the algorithm. Comment. Let me know what you think. And until next time, my friends, be legendary. Peace.